Mr. Rants, you need it on set. Hello? Mr. Rants, where the fuck did he go? Mr. Rants! Oh, there he is. Okay. Mr. Rants, you need it on set, sir. Mr. Rants? Hello?
Hey.
Hold your horses there, son. Christopher Ranta needs to think of every single solitary moment of his life before he can record a podcast.
Rap douche. Tastes like mom's.
In 1939, young Christopher Ranta was born in the town of Huntsville, Alberta, where he was born to a pair of humble laborers who had a specific career set in mind for him. However, he had a plan of his very own.
Mama, I told you, I don't want to be working in no racism factory no more. I need to go out and be something bigger and better. I want to be a podcaster on the big city on the radio.
You're never gonna make it there, you slack of shit!
You'll work in the racism factory and you'll like it, boy! He's got too much of my goddamn brother in him. No, come kiss me, boy. Kiss your father.
Am I kissing you on the lips or am I kissing you on the...
Okay.
I need you! I can go where the fuck I want!
Mama, I know it's 1939 and these are exciting times, but I need to be in the big city making podcasts on the radio.
He's got
disappointed! Wrong kid died!
You go then, boy. You go to the big city. But don't you ever come back. You hear?
Fine, Papa, I will. And don't ever expect me to come back. That way I can finally be the load that Mama swallowed. Just like you always wanted.
What the fuck? I'll fucking die before I let a podcaster in my house. Get it! Get out of here!
Get it, boy!
This boy's meant to be a podcaster. And thus, Christopher Ranta left and set out to record what would eventually become the most life-changing podcast of all time. And then cut to music. Let's roll. Let's do this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sequel Decay.
Welcome back to yet another glorious quarantine-filled episode.
Welcome back to 1939 Alberta.
I look like shit. I am depressed.
Same.
Oh, so accurate.
I haven't shaved the parts of my face that aren't supposed to have a beard.
Yeah, same.
So I think I'm not. It's not so much a 5 day shadow as it is like a 3 week shadow.
I'm getting dangerously close to having my hair grow over my ears.
Oh, and, wow!
Have hockey flow.
Yeah, I'm
your hair's
getting
always been like that. Shut up.
Mine is getting pretty close to shoulder length, I think.
Oh, good.
I'm wearing a bobby pin right now.
If we don't. Oh my god. Oh god.
Chris,
yes,
what movie are we doing?
Well, Stefan, I'm glad you asked me since I'm the resident expert of this movie on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy and proud to talk about this.
I'm so excited.
Same. This is a palate cleanser we needed after Turtles.
Oh my god, right? I was just thinking that yesterday, and I was like, this is the perfect movie to watch after fucking Turtles in time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, my privilege, to say that we at Sequel Decay are talking about the movie The Conqueror, starring John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Exactly. Maybe the least racist movie ever made.
Oh, absolutely. Like that and Song of the South. Ooh, not that racist at all.
For those of you who don't know, and you will after this, but with the immortal John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
think I said that.
I don't think no, you did. I don't think you specified that he was Genghis Khan.
I did.
Let's go back a few seconds to show how fucking stupid Stefan really is.
To say that we at Sequel Decay are talking about the movie The Conqueror, starring John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Starring John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Whew, how will Stefan ever recover from that sick burn?
Oh, okay. Well, my mistake then. Who the fuck directed that anyway? Because that's an actual movie.
Dick Powell.
Oh, okay.
And he's mostly an actor. He only directed 5 other movies, including movies you've never heard of, like The Hunters, The Enemy Below, You Can't Run Away From It, and Split Second.
5 movies was considered a short leash in those days.
He also directed a TV movie called The Joan Crawford Show, Woman on the Run.
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. But anyway, Chris, what are we actually doing today?
Irony poisoning aside, we are talking about Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story.
Yay!
Which I guess I can argue is just one of my favorite movies of all time at this point.
It's so good, dude.
I would be so shocked if it wasn't one of your favorite movies of all time. Because you talk about it so much.
Oh, so often. I had such a good time watching this yesterday with you guys. Like,
This is like one of the movies that came out in the mid-aughts, and it's one of the kind of string of Judd Apatow produced comedies that were released at that point. You know, it came out the same year as Knocked Up.
And Superbad, actually.
And Superbad, that's true. But it wasn't directed by Judd Apatow. It was directed by Jake Kasdan, who is also known for directing Bad Teacher, Sex Tape, and both of the Jumanji remakes. So take from that what you will.
Okay, I said to say the 2 Jumanji remakes are not bad.
I've only seen
Bad Teacher and Sex Tape are terrible.
Dude, I almost walked out of Sex Tape.
Oh,
that was such a fucking bad movie.
It was uploaded to the cloud. Oh.
Shut the fuck up, Boomer.
It's like, right? Okay, Boomer. It's like the epitome of that fucking saying, isn't it? Like, oh, I didn't know that we had all our stuff backed up wirelessly. Yeah, okay, sure.
A lot of accidental steps he had to take for that to happen.
Plot twist: Jason Segel really wanted to upload that shit. He wanted everyone to know he was fucking that bitch.
Yeah, and also Jack Black, I think, played like the head of Pornhub or something in that movie.
Oh God,
that's true.
If I remember correctly,
I don't even remember him being in it.
One of our 3 fans will tell us if that's true or not. The movie stars a fucking shitload of people, or features cameos from a shitload of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people actually.
But before I go into those, yeah, it was directed by Jake Kasdan, who we've already gone through his plethora of work. It was co-written by him and Judd Apatow, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Judd Apatow was the guy who made Love on Netflix, whatever that series or whatever, right? He's the guy who
produced that. Judd Apatow's the guy who directed 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, This Is 40, Trainwreck, Funny People, and I think he's got a new movie with Pete Davidson coming out eventually.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Boy, could I go without seeing that.
And
you guys don't like Pete Davidson?
I don't like Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live is the worst thing to happen to television.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
I mean,
but
I'm more a fan of just Pete Davidson himself, as opposed to.
I don't know what he's done besides Saturday Night Live, and he's never done anything funny. Night Live.
He has a couple of comedy specials, stand-up comedy specials, which is not.
Also been on a couple of those Comedy Central roasts. Like, I don't think he's like the most annoying person in the world. I can do with or without him. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Considering people coming out of SNL, he's not the worst for sure.
That's fair. That's very fair.
He's no Bill Hader or Andy Samberg or.
Also true.
Better than Adam Sandler.
Have you seen Uncut Gems yet?
Yeah,
I was going to say until recently. Yeah.
Excuse me while I tell you all about how good Punch Drunk Love is.
That's not the movie we're talking about. Maybe next week, Chris.
All right.
Anyway,
let's actually talk about Walk Hard.
So the movie, like I said, the movie stars a shitload of people, or features cameos from a shitload of people.
Yeah.
Including John C. Reilly, Kristen Wiig, Margot Martindale, Raymond Barry, Jenna Fisher, Tim Meadows, Chris Parnell, Matt Besser, Jonah Hill, David Krumholtz, Craig Robinson, Harold Ramis, Simon Helberg, Philip Rosenthal, Martin Starr, John Michael Higgins, Ed Helms, Jane Lynch,
Jack McBrayer, Nat Faxon, Frankie Muniz, Jack White, John Ennis, the Temptations themselves, Eddie Vedder, Jackson Brown, Jewel, Ghostface Killah, Lyle Lovett, Cheryl Teagues, Paul Rudd, Jack Black, Justin Long, Jason Schwartzman, and we didn't start the fire.
I wonder how much money Frankie Muniz was paid for that one fucking scene.
Probably not much.
No, probably not much. He
I
said,
mean,
Probably
two
just
lines.
did it because he thought it was funny.
Well,
Yeah.
everyone like asked like, well, where'd Frankie Muniz go? Because he had like Agent Cody Banks 1 and 2, and then he just fucking retired at like 21.
Yeah, because he like
He had
Well,
like
there
a
was
fuck ton of
that
money.
Malcolm in the Middle, like
yeah,
He had
and then
so
he
much
like
money.
then he took up car racing, and I think he was like in a crash or something, or like he got so many concussions that now he doesn't remember most of his acting career.
pretty much. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's tragic.
Yeah, like
actually,
he doesn't
Yeah.
really remember being on Malcolm in the Middle at all.
that is sad because
Mhm.
Malcolm in the Middle was a great show.
Put the rest of the show on DVD.
Is
Um,
the whole show not on DVD?
Only the first season's
Really?
on DVD. It's
What?
Wow.
from what I remembered. I think it's because of like music rights issues and stuff like that.
Wasn't there
Oh.
like 6 or 7 seasons?
Yeah,
Holy fuck!
yeah, and only the first season's on DVD, and I think that's out of print now.
That is awful. How is anyone ever supposed to watch it? Stream it, I guess.
You know, because I don't even think it's available digitally.
Wow.
Back to Walk Hard. Basically, it's a giant send up of music biopics such as Walk the Line, Ray.
Really takes Walk the Line to heart.
Oh yeah, no, it's basically, and Dewey Cox himself is basically just like,
Johnny Cash.
no, not even just Johnny Cash. Like Johnny Cash, Roy Orbison, Brian Wilson,
Bob Dylan
so
at
many-
parts. At
Bob
points.
Bob
Dylan.
Dylan at points. To
Ray
an
Charles
extent-
even at points.
Yeah, Ray Charles. Yeah, with the sense of smell thing. Like he's a shitload of people put into one. He's
Hmm.
just this giant composite of like basically you name him, they're probably making fun of him. It's basically just the life trials and tribulations and eventual death of this Dewey Cox fella that never existed. And it's
Even though they
fucking
heavily
hysterical.
imply he existed, especially that end credit scene.
The post-credits.
The end. So I guess spoiler alert for a 13-year-old movie, but the end credit scene is just because after is just like supposedly like real footage of the actual Dewey Cox, which is just John C. Reilly in different makeup, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
and a different voice.
Yeah. Sounds a little more worn, but this movie is fucking blessed.
This movie is a fucking godsend. I love it.
Chris, you can make this point better than me, but this movie effectively ruined like music biopics.
Like 100%.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Well, it's because they're all the same.
it's
Yeah.
it's really tough to kind of talk about that because everyone and their dog has made that point
Yeah.
so effectively and so much better than any of us ever could. If I can recommend any video to you guys talking about that, because inevitably we'll end up talking about it eventually. There's a video on YouTube by Patrick H. Willems, and he did a really good job at dissecting how bad Bohemian Rhapsody is, and he does touch on Walk Hard for a little bit. Again, like, we are not going to spend much time, if any time at all, really kind of talking about the connections between Walk Hard and Bohemian Rhapsody, because to put it very bluntly, Bohemian Rhapsody is basically just Walk Hard without the irony. If you want to kind of figure out why or kind of figure out how this movie has negatively impacted the music biopic industry, you should absolutely watch that Patrick H. Willems video because it's fucking great.
This movie like just takes the beat of the major beats of basically every musical biopic, because like as any, they're all extremely samey and they have the same tropes, takes those tropes and just pushes them to an absurd extent. Like you have like the foundational trauma in Dewey Cox's life is him accidentally cutting his brother Nate in half with a machete during a machete duel.
I've been halved.
And
That sentence doesn't hook your fucking interest. I don't know what the fuck will.
And like the trauma of the event causes Dewey to get a disability, which is to lose his sense of smell.
You're going smell blind. So.
Martindale's so
he-
fucking good in this. She's only in it for like fucking 5 minutes, but just her delivery of "How's my favorite 14-year-old son" to 40-year-old John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? I'm Dewey's 12-year-old girlfriend.
Says adult Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, right. Well, it makes you really put into perspective, like, if you're like, okay, well, they're supposed to be playing these characters, right? So, like, imagine like a fucking 15-year-old and a 12-year-old getting married, moving out of fucking, where was it, Alabama? Wherever the fucking...
Yeah, Springberry, Alabama.
Why do all these
Sounds
like
like
biopics have like such a homely fucking setting, like, for the beginning?
And then it's just like, it just becomes like kind of twisted and absurd. And
It's ridiculous. That's what makes it fun.
What's another example? His mother dies when she dances to Dewey's music. And then
while she's fucking like changing the mind of his father.
Yeah. And then she falls out the window and like crashes into the ground, and then dragging the radio out, which immediately crushes her head.
I'm okay. Boom. It's funny because like that seems like
just kind of bonks her on the head.
Well, his father was just, and that scene too was just like, you know what, maybe I've been too hard on Dewey. Maybe I'll listen to his music a bit more. And then she dies, and he's like, wrong kid died.
Culminating beautifully, of course, in the scene where Dewey's father challenges Dewey to a machete fight.
I should have been more of a father to you, Dewey, instead of training my body mentally and physically for a machete fight. Man, whoever wrote this movie, like
Jake Kasdan and Judd Apatow.
Yes.
I feel like there was a lot of improv too, because it's a Judd.
100%, dude. There's no way that was all scripted.
This is not like a typical like Judd Apatow cast either. Like, I mean, you do have like some people like Paul Rudd, but that might be it. Like, honestly, like there's a shitload of people in it, but you don't see somebody like a Seth Rogen or Jason Segel or anything.
No, but you do see fucking Jack Black.
Not even Will Ferrell, yeah. And they all seem like so perfectly cast. Like, I think you'll all agree the highlight is probably the Beatles, who are
yes, I'm the leader of the Beatles.
Who Paul Rudd is John Lennon, Jack Black is Paul McCartney, Justin Long is George Harrison, and Jason Schwartzman is Ringo Starr, the best Beatle.
Paul Rudd's awful John Lennon impression is my favorite thing in the movie.
It's so fucking funny.
I'm so glad they didn't use actual English people.
I'm so happy.
I think the only one that really like rivals them for me is Jack White as Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
I think there's like a 20-way tie for my favorite thing in this movie.
There's just there's so many good things, dude, in this movie. Like, it's hard to pick just one as your favorite part.
Which makes it especially shocking that this movie fucking bombed.
I know.
It cost $35 million to make, and it got back $20.6 million at the box office.
Which is a fucking shame.
It really is. Like, it kind of mirrors, in my opinion, what happened later to Popstar. Yeah, Never Stop, Never Stopping, which is a similar, it's like a very similar send up of the music industry with obviously some very subtle differences in A, cast, and B, the way of going about it. Yeah, Andy Samberg is more of a Justin Bieber analog in that movie.
And I was gonna say, like, if you were to double feature Popstar with anything, it would probably be This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, very true. But Popstar also did not do very well.
No.
And I wonder why that was necessarily, because like literally it's Walk Hard was marketed as from the guy who brought you Knocked Up and Superbad. Like, and those were fucking huge movies. Those movies made bank. So I don't really know why people didn't come out for this one.
Because considering that fucking like people adore Superbad, right? It's like known as this fucking the parts of the party movie, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy Walk Hard so much better than Superbad.
Walk Hard is way better than Superbad,
like,
and I love Superbad. I love Superbad, but Walk Hard is so much better.
No, I'm not saying I hate Superbad. Superbad is fucking awesome. I love Superbad, but I'm saying I like this movie more. I feel like it's more interactive.
Yeah, and
because you can sing the fucking songs.
Yeah, you can do that, and it's like it really is the cliches that it's laugh a minute, but like you really can't go like 5 minutes without seeing something that just makes you absolutely fucking gut laugh.
Dude, we were laughing every 5 minutes of this movie, at least. Like, at least, dude.
Are you guys ready for my reason why Walk Hard bombed?
Lay it on me.
You guys pumped for this? Okay. Alvin and the Chipmunks, I Am Legend, Charlie Wilson's War, National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets, Sweetie Todd, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, The Bucket List, There Will Be Blood, and all that came out in the same few weeks.
Well, that'll do it.
That'll do it. Yep. Alvin and the Chipmunks alone will do it.
It probably tanked because of competition.
Oh
and
my
probably because
God,
they didn't
guys.
market it that well.
I just thought of our next franchise.
What?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
No. I would like to live.
who's like the okay, so like Alvin and the Chipmunks is from that era of like movies where like it's always just they take a cartoon character and they just make a CGI version of them interact with live action for the whole movie, and it sucks. Who was the live action human in the first Alvin and the Chipmunks movie?
Oh, Dave.
Jason Lee.
Yes, you're right. It's Jason Lee. Oh man, I'm so glad I never watched those movies.
I did.
John Waters is actually in one of them.
He is. Yes, he's in. I want to say the second one.
No, he's not in the second one. I think it's like the third or fourth. But like,
they made 4.
Yeah, dude, they made fucking 4.
There's a scene where John Waters is on a plane. Alvin's sitting beside him. In the middle of the conversation, Alvin says, says you. I've seen pink flamingos, and I was like, what the fuck?
Wait, for real?
He's gonna sit there and go, great, I'm so glad I got that joke. What adult is gonna say, oh yes, bravo, great fucking joke? I remember pink flamingos. Who? That joke is tailor-made for me.
I like to think that.
Hence why you should watch the Chipmunks movies, Chris.
Like, who's the fucking guy in the head of like film production at Fox that went, okay, so you see this schlubby asshole here, prepubescent, pimple-faced Chris Ranta, 13. Yeah, when he turns 23, he's going to be a huge John Waters fan. So we need to make this for him when he's 23.
I feel like that's the aim of these movies. We'll aim for an audience in the future. Don't worry.
I like to think that every like 60s or 70s or 80s or whatever cartoon character just has really fucked up taste in movies. Like Rocky and Bullwinkle's favorite movie is Antichrist.
Garfield's like there's gonna be if they make a third Garfield movie and Pasolini was still alive, they'd probably have him sitting on a plane with Garfield, and Garfield would go, says you, I've seen Sallow or the 120 Days of Sodom, wink. Like, fuck you.
Fred Flintstone is multiple times to a Serbian film.
I feel like we've gotten a little bit off track.
What was your hit?
The Thundercats are all huge fans of the Human Centipede trilogy.
Snarf is a major Tom Six fan.
His favorite one's the third one only because it's set in prison.
Snarf.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, we're going to hell.
Chris, that was established in episode 1 of this podcast. Okay.
So here's the thing about this movie and also Popstar. Like, all the songs are kind of, especially for Popstar, but also, dude, except for this one, are kind of meant to be like ridiculous and like not taken seriously, but they also slap so hard.
Really, that's the thing. Like, if you take them out of their context, you would actually believe that they were songs that came out during these periods.
Oh yeah,
like
I have
many times just gone through the fucking Dewey Cox like soundtrack and just been like, I'm gonna listen to this right now because this is a banger. Yeah. Like that song, like the end song, A Beautiful Ride. I fucking actually love that song a lot.
It's a really good song.
It's a really good song.
If you take away the fucking ridiculous ass lyrics, like where he starts talking about accepting your own mortality out of fucking nowhere, it's so surreal, but it's so fucking good.
Yeah, and then he has songs like fucking Little Man, where it's just about little people not being able to reach fucking elevator buttons. Or having a dog lick their face or something like that. Like, what are
the... Your big day will come when they remake The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, fucking hell.
Personally, I'm a big fan of like the like 30 seconds or so where he's like playing like a punk version of Walk Hard, and like one of his band members is like, people are gonna think you're some kind of punk. It's like, yes, I got
punk music.
And I was like, yes, I got one for me. That or Let's Duet.
That one's for all the edgy people out there.
I think honestly, that's the only song that you can only listen to as a tongue-in-cheek sex joke. The others you can pretty much listen to straight.
One of the lyrics is literally, "You can always come in my back door." That is the lyric of the last verse.
Whatever. It's normal. It's good. It's pure. It's pure-hearted.
It's pure. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Funny. Made me laugh.
Yeah. What's so risque about saying in my dreams I'm blowing you? Some kisses.
Some kisses. In my
You and I
dreams,
can
you're
go
blowing
down.
me. Some kisses.
You and I can go down in history. Random fucking tangent. When I was in fucking high school, we would just sing that song back and forth to each other as a joke because we all got it. Which means,
Man.
yes, I saw this movie in junior high.
I
think I did too.
I saw this movie maybe a year or two ago with you, Chris.
Yeah, because you watched it with me and a couple friends of mine. So this movie's hysterical, as we've already kind of mentioned. The music is absolutely amazing, as we've all mentioned. Because again, like there was one point I think I was talking to Brandon or somebody before he had even watched the movie, and I played one of the songs from Walk Hard and then a Roy Orbison song like back to back.
Yeah.
Oh God. Like
they almost like it's so similar.
As far as like craftsmanship goes, like these songs are so well attuned to their time.
Oh,
John C. Reilly is a fucking incredible singer too.
Oh my God, yes.
God, yeah.
Chris has constantly told me that he thinks John C. Reilly should have been nominated for an Oscar for this.
He should have been, honestly.
I'm going to say it again. Let's do this. Okay. Folks, strap in. This is going to be a 30-minute rant. I'm
ready.
So John C. Reilly should have 100% been nominated for Walk Hard because there's two things I'm going to say. One, he's a fucking brilliant comedic actor. Two, he's a brilliant dramatic actor. If you've ever seen like Magnolia or Chicago or even the Sisters Brothers, he's incredible in that. But what I find so damn amazing about his performance in Walk Hard is that he melds them both so well. And even when it is like so stupid, and this movie gets fucking stupid. Like I even said to you, like there's points where this movie feels like an Adult Swim skit.
Oh yeah. Not
only does he completely embrace it, but he completely embraces it completely straight and completely passionate.
The amount of times he would like, if I was like in his position acting, whatever, I would have broken so many times.
Oh yeah, no, like I wish they included a gag reel on the Blu-ray. That way I could just watch how many times like everyone broke.
I wanted to see how many times Kristen Wiig fucking died after saying I'm Dewey's 12-year-old girlfriend. Fucking hell.
Like honestly, like there's points where like you genuinely believe that A, Dewey Cox could have been a real person, and B, that John C. Reilly is like selling it. Like you honestly kind of start to feel for the character that's just a composite of like 70 different rock stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how he chooses. Insane. By the way, there's a little side note. I love how he chooses his girlfriend. Like, you're my girlfriend? Yeah, I am? Of course, I pointed at you in the audience. like that's how you just like you're mine now.
That's how this works.
That's how this works.
There's the Patton Oswalt reference.
Yeah, I was. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Chris has spent the last 3 hours arguing that John C. Reilly should have defeated Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood for the Oscar for Best Actor.
No. I'm not saying John C. Reilly should have kicked Daniel Day-Lewis's ass. Yeah. I'm saying he should have at least been in the fucking running. Like, I think a lot of it comes down.
Just kidding. Daniel Day-Lewis is fucking incredible.
Yeah, but like it baffles my mind that the Academy is so adverse to genre films in general, especially comedy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they have a huge like down look on comedy, dude.
Well, comedy and horror movies, really, and I'd even say action films.
Only like dramatic movies are like what make the fucking cut.
Basically, prestige, loose quotes, prestige movies can basically be in serious contention for an Oscar. And like, I wish that they actually gave a shit about, cinema as an art form and performance as an art form.
Yeah. And like, that's what makes like Parasite winning so much last year, like such a surprise, right?
Well, or even like Mad Max Fury Road being a frontrunner for Best Picture at one point.
Yeah.
Or Get Out winning Best Original Screenplay. And I think it is more of a problem with the Academy than it is a problem with these movies. Like, it really does just come down to, like, the Academy needs to start appreciating these genre films more.
Well, we just need new people in the Academy, I think it's another thing.
No, what they need are varied voices and diverse voices. The problem is it's just a bunch of old white guys for the most part.
Let's talk about Walk Hard again now.
Like, as much as I do like Walk the Line still, because I think it's a really solid movie and Joaquin Phoenix rules and it's great. It's It's really fucking good. I think if Walk Hard is tainted anything, it is probably Walk the Line, because it so directly is parodying Walk the Line.
Oh well, yeah, like
Yeah,
it's so hard to fucking not see Johnny Cash when you look at Dewey Cox. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
Aside from the divergences into like the more Brian Wilson-y elements, like it pretty much is Dewey Cox pretty much just is like an alternate version of Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes me retroactively unable to take a lot of Johnny Cash seriously, which isn't really his fault. It's an accomplishment of Dewey Cox's.
Yeah, like it. Well, and I think it's an accomplishment of this movie overall. Like, it's so fucking good, and it's so fucking smart. And that's the thing, is like, it's basically just a shitload of lines and jokes just repeated over and over again. Like, wrong kid died, or you don't want no part of this shit. But it's so funny every single time.
Tim Meadows is fucking amazing in this movie.
Tim Meadows and Chris Parnell fucking rule in this movie. Like, I feel like Chris Parnell probably had a lot more improv stuff that didn't make it into the final cut, because I know Chris Parnell's fucking hilarious.
Chris Parnell's fucking amazing.
Tim Meadows, absolutely. Like, if it weren't for John C. Reilly, Tim Meadows would have stolen the show.
And he didn't even pay for drugs.
Not once.
Like,
good job, guys.
We did it.
We quoted the movie. Again,
we're talented.
Like, we're so smart. Yeah,
we're talented.
Okay, I was going to talk about Tim Meadows. Whew. Okay, I'm on a million different paths. Kill me. But yeah, no, like, Tim Meadows is so fucking funny in this movie, and a lot of his dialogue is basically just him repeating a bunch of running gags in the film. He sells it every single time.
That's the thing. It's like everybody. You mentioned it before with John C. Reilly, but like, everybody is taking this so dead seriously. It really does feel like if you take the cadence of their voice and just without like actually paying attention to anything that they're actually saying, you could be forgiven for mistaking this was just actually just a biopic.
No, like, the most effective satire is the kind of thing that completely buys into the thing it's making a mockery of and just fucking goes for it.
I just had the realization that I don't think this movie, like, it's one of the few comedies I think that doesn't really have a straight man, does it? Everybody is kind of insane in one way or another.
Oh yeah, no, there's no straight man in this, because again, like, they're just really heightened and absurdist versions of these biopic characters and tropes.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm so pissed that the movie bombed.
More people need to see it.
Like, because that's the thing. Like, I saw on Wikipedia that they said that this movie has a cult following. I don't believe that for a second.
Not really, no.
I didn't even hear about this movie at all until Chris brought it up to me.
Oh yeah, like, it's one of those movies where, like, if you know it, you're a huge fan of it. If you don't know it, like, someone is going to show it to you.
Yeah.
Well, I'd hope so. Yeah. I don't know.
Like, I guess like Anchorman, a movie that didn't do that well initially, but like, it's gone on to gain like such a cult following that like everyone knows every line from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
would you say it is also a cult following?
Yeah, but the thing with Anchorman is like everyone knows that movie verbatim at this point, even though it may not have done as well as they were hoping it would back when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we got a belated sequel to it, is because it became such a cult classic. But the thing with Walk Hard is that, like, again, the people that know it. And the people that don't know it probably don't remember that the movie existed or never saw it or have never heard of it. Yeah, like, I feel like it's one of those movies where I hope as time kind of continues forward, more people watch it and more people kind of get it.
Here's an interesting question. If you guys, because it's kind of hard to tell like what movies will become cult classics and which ones won't. If you guys had to pick a movie that came out like in the last like 5 years, which ones do you guys think would become cult classics like in like 10, 15?
How'd Sorry to Bother You do?
That movie kind of tanked. I could see that one being a cult film.
That's my answer.
I think that might end up being my answer too, but you're gonna have to give me a minute to think about that.
I wonder if anything like DC Universe, like Batman vs Superman, because that tanked.
That's not a cult. That can't. That literally cannot be a cult.
That's a mob.
Yeah,
it's a mob.
Okay, the thing with Batman v Superman, here I go. The thing about Batman v Superman is I can see in about 15, 20 years the general reception of it turning around a little bit.
And if that happens, I'll be right there saying that is revisionist bullshit and that movie is dog shit.
I can see Alita being a cult film.
I like Alita a lot.
Yeah. Although I think Alita did pretty well.
I think it did not
Alita
bad.
did okay. I think it maybe broke even.
I really wish like they'd make. I don't know. Like they probably won't because it, like you said, it wasn't super popular. Like they won't make a sequel for it. But like I'd love to learn more about that world, and like
Yeah, I don't
see
think
more
they're gonna
about
take
it.
a risk on that.
Man, it'd be such. I don't know, man. Like it was on TV the other day.
Oh shit! Actually, I have one more I could see being a cult film.
Lay it on us.
That would be Sing Street.
Oh yeah,
I could see.
I
that.
like Sing Street. I completely forgot about it
wait,
until now, but I really like
guys,
that movie.
We're forgetting something.
What?
Cats.
That's gonna be a cult film too.
Because
yeah. Okay,
everyone hates that movie, but also everyone loves it.
Except for me.
I think that's that should have been our first answer, honestly.
Do we actually have anything else to talk about?
I definitely There's a couple things I want to bring up. I actually have a few production notes.
Lay them on
A few
me.
things. I'm gonna lay the fucking pipe on you, buddy.
Mm.
So in this film,
Lay it on me, Daddy.
So in this film, Dewey Cox invents a shitload of music genres, and I love that so much.
Oh yeah.
That's another one of my favorite fucking things about this movie. Is like he invents the blues, he invents psychedelic rock, he invents
punk.
folk music.
The guy's
he
like,
invents punk.
No. The news reporter's like, the people are saying you sound like a lot like Bob Dylan. Well, how do you say Bob Dylan doesn't sound a lot like me? How come no one's going around saying Bob Dylan sounds a lot like Dewey Cox, huh? Like, all right.
Fun fact: the music for this movie, not like the soundtrack itself, but like score and stuff, as well as music production, was done by a guy named Michael Andrews, who performed the cover of Mad World and Donnie Darko.
Oh really?
Some random stuff I also found out. When they were doing all the music and stuff for this, their favorite music to do was actually the 70s stuff.
Oh yeah. Like
Starman
Brian
kind of
Wilson,
crap.
Brian Wilson.
Well, no, right after Brian Wilson, like one of the guys involved straight up said like they could have recorded or they could have filmed an entire season of the Dewey Cox variety show if they wanted to.
Fuck yes. Oh, now I want to see that.
So bad.
As far as the 70s thing goes, like I can tell that it was their favorite thing to do, especially if you watch the extended cut of the movie, because the extended cut really draws out the 70s stuff a lot, and you can tell that they really enjoyed doing the 70s stuff. Jake Kasdan also said that if the movie included all the musical performances, because they wrote like 40 songs for this movie.
Damn.
So they said if the movie included every single music performance in full, the thing would have been 3.5 hours long, or as Jake Kasdan refers to it as a Dewey of Arabia.
I love it.
Man,
I want that now.
Man, that really soundtrack got cut in half just like Nate did.
Damn.
Actually, the soundtrack was nominated for a Grammy too.
All right, I'm happy now.
Hell yeah.
So at least one good thing came out of this.
That's the only good thing that's ever happened at the Grammys.
And the best fucking marketing I've ever seen. John C. Reilly made a bunch of musical appearances as Dewey Cox, like prior to the movie coming out.
I wonder if he was like in character for the entire time, or if it was like just a song.
I was in character.
Yeah, he was in character.
Yes.
He also did a commercial with John Mayer, right?
Yes. And also on the Blu-ray, there's the Blu-ray that's now out of print. There's this great little featurette on there. It's like 15 minutes long, where they got a bunch of people, like actors in the movie, and a bunch of random musicians like Sheryl Crow, John Mayer, Brad Paisley, you name it, to talk about the quote-unquote real Dewey Cox. Like Ed Helms claimed that he saw Dewey Cox puke and pass out in a bathroom once.
King shit.
There's an entire 5-minute point where they just talk about how Dewey Cox had, quote, enormous testicles, and they had to make John C. Reilly's testicles bigger through prosthetics to just solely in the name of historical accuracy.
Oh god.
There's another 5-minute point where they talk about how John C. Reilly supposedly went so method that he was actually doing every drug known to man on set, and that he went to rehab 6 times during production. Like obviously these are all jokes, but like my favorite quote, actually there's 2 great quotes during that 5-minute bit. One from Jake Kasdan where he says, quote, "He knows what he's doing. The guy worked with Scorsese. What am I going to say? He tells me he needs to be on angel dust for a couple of weeks. I'm not going to argue with him." And then the second one is from Tim Meadows where he said, quote, "Yeah, I didn't go that route. I didn't need to try drugs in order to get into my character. I'm an actor, you know. Meryl Streep didn't watch a baby get eaten by a dingo."
Jesus,
like,
fuck.
It's unfortunately out of print, which means, and also the extended cut's like impossible to find, and I actually prefer it. Like it's 25 minutes longer, but also everything they cut out is still so fucking funny. But if you can get your hands on the DVD or something, one, watch the extended cut, and two, just watch all the fucking extras. They're so fucking good.
That's
like even the making of documentary is so fucking tongue in cheek. God, it's such a good movie.
It's phenomenal. It's honestly it's probably one of my personal favorite comedies.
I mean, like of all the movies you showed me, Chris, in the last like couple of years we've known each other, this has got to be my favorite. I think.
Wait till I show you True Stories.
Oh, True Stories.
I also still have to watch Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks is also damn good.
Twin Peaks is
damn fine, if some would say.
Oh yes, yes for sure. Damn fine indeed.
Damn fine TV show.
Damn fine programming.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That is one that's known as a reference.
Shut the fuck up, Stern.
I guess unless anybody else has anything more to say about Walk Hard.
I mean, I have something to say, but it's not about Walk Hard.
Shoot.
Okay. My mom yesterday thought Spider-Man was part of the DC universe.
Neat.
What?
Yep.
Huh.
Okay, cool. We can move on now. Somebody can fucking say something, please.
Okay.
Right.
Let's very quickly wrap up the program.
All right. Let's do our recommendations. How about
that?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure it's by now we can fucking everyone knows what a recommendation.
Oh yeah, watch Walk Hard, please God, I beg
this movie. Man.
It is well worth like renting, if not buying, on YouTube or iTunes.
Oh, 100%, dude! It's so good.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder. Did you think this would be like? It wouldn't be on like Amazon Prime or anything like that. Hey, like
no idea.
Streaming.
Also, fuck Amazon. Don't use Amazon unless you absolutely need to, because fuck Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, Chris.
Tip of the day.
Obviously I wholeheartedly recommend it. If you can get your hands on either the Blu-ray or the 2-disc DVD that has the extended cut on it, like wholeheartedly I recommend you going for that. Yes, it's 25 minutes longer.
Yes, it's worth it.
It's actually, they actually call it Walk Hard American Cox, the unbearably long self-indulgent director's cut.
Self-indulgent director's cut.
But it is really long, and you could make an argument that it sacrifices a lot of the really good pacing of the theatrical cut. And does it matter if you watch either or? Not really, but you're missing out on some really good
jokes.
You're missing out on some good jokes regardless. So if you can get your hands on it, great. I know YouTube and iTunes only has the theatrical cut, so if that's all you can get, that's fine. Just watch it. It's great. And there was one more thing I wanted to bring up, and then I'm going to stop talking about this movie I love so much. So I've listened to the soundtrack probably way more than either of you combined. And probably one of my favorite songs on the album is A Life Without You Is No Life at All, which is the Roy Orbison type one.
Hell yeah.
Life without you.
In the full song, and again, this is a testament to John C. Reilly as a performer. I wish I brought this up earlier, but this is a huge testament to John C. Reilly as a performer. There's one verse where he sings, "So sharpen up your knives, stab me in the eyes. I want to cry bursts of blood. I want to drown myself in your love."
I love it.
Wow.
And like the thing is like that's the most absurd fucking thing in the entire song, because like the verse preceding that is "Tears fall in vain, I'm standing in the rain, no matter how I feel, I never seem to know what's real." And then it gets right into the dark shit, and it's so fucking out of left field. Again, if you're not paying attention, you're not going to even like notice it, because like again, like the performance is so fucking good and it just sells it.
Sounds like My Chemical Romance by way of Roy Orbison.
Word.
That's what's so good.
Some
about
edgy
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Edgy shit.
And also, since we kind of faintly glossed over it, I'm gonna reiterate it. Jack White as Elvis Presley is so fucking funny.
My god, he's fucking good.
Dude.
It's called karate.
And you didn't even know that was fucking Jack White until he said something.
No, it's hard to tell, because like Jack White's look, once you alter it, like he doesn't really look like Jack White anymore. At least not to me.
I mean, like, when he cut his hair around the time when Lazaretto came out, like he kind of looks like he did in Walk Hard.
I guess
like
I only ever like kind of think of Jack White as having kind of longer hair, like maybe with a fedora on or something. Like that's the only That's the only thing I'm able to picture him as. So like, I didn't realize that was Jack White until I watched it like this time around.
Man, I
Also,
love the little
Jack White with a fedora is the ultimate simp.
I fucking also love, man, like when Dewey's singing "Beautiful" right at the end, and it cuts back to like his whole life, right, and you just see fucking Jack White holding like a switchblade to Dewey's neck,
or like him playing ukulele and guitar with his cut in half father. This is like
Sorry,
right in the.
I guess I never realized how easy it was to accidentally cut someone in half.
And again, this is all right in the midst of John C. Reilly having to sell the line, sharing the good times, traveling not just for business, accepting your mortality. This is what I've learned.
Also, the one scene where he's like in the hotel room, like drinking with that one guy, and then that one guy, like the bottom half, the guy with like his dangling micro penis, just appears in the background.
Oh, that's Bert. No, that's Bert. He's supposed to get some coffee or something. Fucking my god,
I think
so funny.
I believe this is the first time the words "dangling micro penis" have been uttered on this program,
and it won't be the last.
I'll make sure of it.
I'll make sure of it. That's a sequel to Decay promise.
I'll just like make a point of like ending every episode with that. All right. See you next time, guys. See you next time, guys. Dangling micro penis.
It's gonna be the hot close as opposed to a cold open. Just the hot close.
I'm feeling a hot open every time I watch Walk Hard. What are you talking about?
Oh my god. It's getting steamy in here.
Oh Jesus Christ! If Sequel Decay canon has said anything, we are still currently in underground New York. Yeah, we're still in a basement in New York now because we finally got all of our shit unpacked.
That's as far as we've developed this canon.
Yep.
Hey yo!
Stop!
Yo, I forgot the gimp at home.
Hey yo, I'm podcasting here.
Like, can we move to somewhere where I don't have to do a terrible fucking New York accent?
Hey yo! New York's the best city in the world. Love the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. Go Mets.
Hey yo, shut the fuck up.
Hey yo, what about the Yankees and the New York Post?
Don't you bring the Yankees into this home. I swear to God, I will fucking get my cousin Guido on your ass.
Okay, now switch to Boston.
No. We haven't moved to Boston, you fuck.
What movie is set in Boston?
The Departed.
Okay, I guess we're doing The Departed next week.
The Fever Pitch remake.
Ted. Are we ever going to do those?
I wouldn't mind at some point.
I wouldn't be adverse to it.
I mean, I kind of want to watch them just for the sole fucking scene of watching Liam Neeson buy a box of tricks.
No, my favorite part of Ted 2 is when they're at the fucking improv club. And they're like
9/11.
Like name a setting, 9/11. How about a person, Robin Williams?
So fucking good, dude. Let's go to a improv bar and shut out bad suggestions. Man, I want to do that. That sounds so much fun.
What, heckling improv people?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a dick move.
I feel like that's just kind of cruel.
Of course it is. It's funny.
Like, as someone who has like very small but like a little bit of improv experience, it's a fucking dick move.
Yeah, don't heckle improv people. Just shift uncomfortably in your seat.
Yeah, because like
9/11. Fucking hell.
Yeah, like improv people deserve a little better. Unless you're on Saturday Night Live, then fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
The only good things to come out of Saturday Night Live are the Blues Brothers, the first Wayne's World movie, and fucking MacGruber. Speaking of movies that are underappreciated.
That's the thing. Like when it comes to like people who perform on Saturday Night Live, there have been like they only get better after they leave Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, well, of course, because Saturday Night Live has a fucking cap.
Yeah,
it has a very low cap. But
yeah, like the problem with Saturday Night Live is that it's not clever.
It's the same shit every night, dude. They come up with a stupid fucking skit that's delivered poorly, and they just tell the celebrity who's the guest is always barely keeping it together. We should probably end the fucking podcast now.
I haven't done this in a while. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. So
fortune, dude.
So we are Sequel Decay. You can find this episode and many others on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. That's right, we're back on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you can email us. No, you can't email us. What am I saying?
Actually, you
Well, I
can.
guess
You can.
actually you can email us. We need the company. We also have a Twitter account at Decay Sequel. You can find us on Facebook. Give us a like and a comment. Yeah, you can also give us money on our Patreon because we are all destitute and living in a basement in New York, and we have no way of getting any food. Oh my God, we didn't think this through. I'm gonna have to eat Brandon.
You can try.
Maybe it's one out of the three.
I will succeed.
I will eat me first.
Ew, that's masturbation, dude.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Auto
Gotta
can.
remove a
Actually-
rib for that, Chris.
I actually want to bring up something before we completely go. Stefan, I told you this earlier. Brandon, you had no idea, and I don't blame you for not bringing it up right away. We're also on Stitcher now.
Oh, right. That's true. That's right. We are on Stitcher, so that's another way you can listen to us.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that covers it.
That's it.
That's it. All right.
Good stuff. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
And if you're
Have
on
a-
thanks for watching.
Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.
Bye.
And now, to present what will be the culmination of the greatest podcast ever recorded, Chris Ranta.
Thank you very much. My name is Chris Ranta, and this is my masterpiece. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. And we're getting on the fuck train, boys. That's right. We're gonna fuck something that no one's ever thought of fucking on a podcast before. We're gonna fuck a llama, dude. So, we just found this old dude's fucking property, and we're just gonna fucking fuck their llama, man. It's gonna be fucking lit. Get all aboard that motherfucking fuck train! Alright. Now we just gotta get real fucking close, guys. While it's not looking, you know? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
What? What the fuck are you doing to my llama, you disgusting, sick, nasty podcaster son of a bitch?
Man, trust me, it's not what it looks like. I'm totally not trying to fuck your llama, dude. That's fucking gross. Oh, are those your dogs? Oh, they're really cute. Please. Oh my, does that one have rabies?
Get him, boys.
Christopher Ranta died 3 minutes after recording this podcast. Christopher Ranta, 1997 to 2020.
What a shit life.